Hello everyone, I'm really pleased to be part of this Ingram One Global Experience meeting. I'm Alain Sanchez, I'm the EMEA CISO for Fortinet, and before you all dive into these passionating sessions that I can see in the program, I would like to give you an overview of the cybersecurity landscape of today and projecting ourselves in tomorrow. This presentation is called One Vision, One Platform, One Success, because I think the umbrella of this event crystallizes very well the unification and the integration that we see in the cybersecurity landscape today. Let's think a little bit about what it was. Only, I would say, 3 or 5 years ago, we had, on the one hand, an infrastructure that was already multidimensional. You had mobility, you had campuses, you had branches all around the world, and that was connecting to a large set of data and applications. And then you had the internet, a big provider of services, of data, of processing, and between these two worlds, you could install a perimeter. You could understand a perimeter that you would protect by already what was a next generation firewall. Today, we see the emergence of a large number of new things that are called the new edges. We have many more sensors from the factories. We think of the cars and the transportation devices also as a whole ecosystem of connected objects. We have more of these objects coming from various sides, cameras, sensors that are proceeding to a new pattern of data, the number of mobiles and the speed at which they operate, and the complexity of the applications that are taking place within the mobiles have never been so big. And obviously, we have a large number of endpoints. And that creates this new edge. We have the home edge that was absolutely important in the last 7 months. We can say that the home edge, in a way, have saved the economies of our respective countries, and they need to be carefully protected. We have land edges, we have WAN edges, we have data edges, and we have an enormous amount of edges represented by the cloud. And all that set of new edge require a level of protection that we would call zero trust approach. Zero trust network access, which doesn't mean at all that we are going to stop trusting our employees, our customers, our partners, but that every instance, every device, every user, every application, every data center, every cloud session needs to earn its right to connect to these resources, and that authentication of a new era is granted on a real-time basis. And that is one of the conditions of the end-to-end segmentation that is so critical to protect this new environment. As a consequence, the perimeter that we were defining earlier in this presentation has expanded big time into the infrastructure, in number, in complexity, in speed. 5G will provide, and already has started to provide, 1 or 2 orders of magnitude in speed compared to 4G. But the differences with 4G are not only about the speed. We're talking about the latency, which is the time a device can connect to an application, a series of network services that can be instantiated in a very distributed manner, some of them operating directly at the edge of the network. So that opens new business possibilities, new ability to proceed informations in various parts where right decision is needed. Think about automated car, for instance. Think about remote surgery, when you need really absolutely real-time monitoring of what is happening. But that also opens to new vulnerabilities, because every of these components that provide these enhanced services extends the attack surface. And there is also the internet outside that makes that architecture a lot more complex than we used to have only 5 to 7 years ago. So, in that context, the vision, the technology vision of advanced security embraces 3 dimensions. The first one is the convergence. No matter how do you deliver the security and the networking services, whether it's through an appliance, a software, or delivered through the cloud, it has to be the same feature, the same interface, the same code, so that when you do back and forth, when you have multiple of these different instances that are proceeding to your security services, you don't have to worry about that diversity of the physical appliances, of the physical presence of security. They operate as one, they deliver the same services, no compromise, and you don't have to retrain your staff, and you don't have to redesign your security policy. That convergence is absolutely essential to provide with the flexibility we will need in this new expanded world. The second thing that is particularly important is the platform. We have maybe witnessed in the last 18 months with an acceleration, a significant acceleration in the last 6 months, we have witnessed perhaps the end of the way we used to buy cybersecurity that carry with the old name of best of breed, where find me the best antivirus for certain criteria, and find me the best firewall, and find me the best mail protection for someone else later to integrate it. We don't have time for that. We don't have the budget for that. We're talking milliseconds, if not less than that, of required response time to trigger the proper response to the security threats. So platforms, integrated, broad and automated, are the future of cybersecurity. And the human brain is not made to proceed to these repetitive tasks that consist in correlating alarms and find the root cause. The human brain needs help. And this help is provided by artificial intelligence that drive the security operations, offloading staff from the stress and enabling people in the SOC and in the NOC to concentrate on what really matters, which is design the proper cybersecurity solutions that will enable the digital innovation of tomorrow. Now, when we have this holistic vision of cybersecurity, this vision of a trilogy, that holistic doesn't mean monopolistic. This green icon you can see here opens to a world of APIs and connectors that enable to expand the virtues of the integrated platform to your legacy network and security environment. Now, you realize that as we do that, we have 2 different stacks that are competing at the same time. We have the networking stack and we have the security stack. So how do we proceed to both with no compromise? That is one of the founding idea of Fortinet. Have an immense amount of processing unit at the service of this dual convergence of networking and security. Use dedicated processes to be able to run these two stacks, to do secure SD-WAN, not only just networking SD-WAN, but switching on the SSL filter, the IPsec filter, and do that security at the detriment of nothing, and certainly not the performance. That security processing unit provides a competitive advantage that makes a whole difference when we consider the complexity and the volume of the threat and the speed of the processing data that we are really close to see coming our way. Now, you've heard that vision, but what makes us think this vision is right? We don't. You do. What makes us think we've been always on the right track in this converged world of security and networking is that vision is being massively adopted. And we've seen in the last month that were, from a global economy perspective, very challenging. We've never seen such an adoption of this integrated fabric vision and holistic vision of cybersecurity. Look at the numbers, look at the growth. In itself, they are already amazing, but it's when they reflect this new vision of an integrated, automated, and broad cybersecurity that they are really, really impressive. And the outside world, here we can see one of the prominent analytic firm here that for the 11th time has recognized Fortinet as a leader in the Magic Quadrant network firewall, and the same platform, which is pretty unique, is also recognized as a leader in the one edge infrastructure. So we interpret that as the blessing from the outside world of this converged view of a platform to provide all the necessary conditions for superior cybersecurity. I would like to ask you to take away 3 teachings from this presentation. The first one is the future of cybersecurity is in an integrated platform. The second thing is open is always best. We've learned it in IT since the IBM PC. And here too, open is best. And the third thing I would like you to leave with is artificial intelligence today drives superior cybersecurity operations, but not at the detriment of human, to second the human brain in performing the repetitive tasks and leaving the interesting tasks, the innovation tasks, to the people in charge of cybersecurity, enabling digital innovation. This was Alain Sanchez for Fortinet. Thank you very much for your attention, and I wish you a great event.